Hi everyone. So today we will start with the topic called multidimensional array. In the last video we have discussed what is two-dimensional array and how it works, how we can perform operation on two-dimensional array. So let's see multidimensional array. So basically this multidimensional array is a concept of array of array. What it means array of array means? So in one array it contains one more array, and in that array, in that sub array, so there will be rows and columns. That's what in Java multidimensional array is implemented as array of array concept. And this multidimensional array is also called as 3D. This three-dimensional is also called as jagged array. So how we can understand this three-dimensional array? So this three-dimensional array is an array of 2D arrays. The rows of three-dimensional array can vary in length just like 2D array. So what it means? So in two-dimensional array, what we used to do? We used to write the data type and the pair of brackets and the name of the array. So the name of array is 2D array equal to the new keyword and data type, new int of the size. What is the size of rows and columns? For example 3, and the number of columns is 5, and semicolon. This is the syntax for 2D arrays. So what it means, that the rows of 3D arrays can also vary in the length just like 2D array. So this is a 2D array. If you create three-dimensional array, the syntax for 3D array is so data type. So we will take integer for now and 3 pair of brackets and name of array equal to new data type and 3 pair of brackets, and here the size of size of 2D array, and here rows, and at last columns. This is the syntax for three-dimensional array. So the first dimension represents the block size, the total number of 2D arrays. So in the first pair of brackets, the memory label, it will contain as the 2D array how many arrays contains. So that is represented in the first block of code, and in the second block of code, in the second block, it represents the rows of 2D array. So here it represents the rows of 2D array, and at last the third dimension here represents the column of 2D array. This is the syntax and declaration. Declaration we will see later. So same thing it can be represented as integer, the name of array, and the size of 2D array. So what is the size of 2D array? 3, and the number of rows for 2D array is 3, and number of columns for 2D array is 3. So the statement says that we want 3 such 2D array with consist of 3 rows and 3 columns. So what it means? So we have this array equal to new int of this first block is having 3. What it means? This represents this 2-dimensional array is presented in 3 parts. So we have total 3 2D arrays with how many rows? 3 rows, and with how many columns? 3 columns. This is the meaning of this above line. Declare 3D array. Specify data type, array name, block size, number of rows and columns. Okay, that already we have seen here. Each subscript can be written within its own separate pair of blocks. Yeah, that already we have seen. Syntax is data type, array name, block size, number of rows, number of columns. Now, okay, this is the all about 3-dimensional array, and how we can understand in a graphical. Yeah, see. So we have total how many rows? So there are total 3 rows. So row 1, row 2, row 3. We can start from 0 also. So row 0, row 1 and row 2. So that's not the problem. And the columns, column 1, column 2 and column 3. Or we can also write column 0, column 1 and column 2. We can start from 0 and we can start from 1 also. It depends on me. So in the first row, so these things is a array. So what is the definition for 3D array? It's array of array. This multi-dimensional array is an array of array. So this one represents the one array. This array having number of rows and number of columns, and similarly like second array we have number of rows and number of columns, and for the third array we have number of rows and number of columns, 1, 2 and 3 columns. This is the representation of graphic this 3-dimensional array. And how we can create this 3D array in editor, we'll go and see. Let's go and create the class called 3D arrays. We will write main method, first line. We will see how we can declare. Okay, first syntax for 3D array. data type. So here we are going to take integer as the data type. Then pair of bracket 1 2 okay, 1 2 and 3, pair of brackets, and name of array. So the name of array is 3D array. Array equal to new data type and the size of 2D array. So how many this 2D array contains in 3D array? Internally it contains this. So this the size of 2D array is 2. This time we are taking, and the number of rows is 3, and number of column is 4. This time we do. Yeah. So this what will happen internally? It will create a memory location where the first block will have the reference of 2D array with the size 3 rows and 3 columns. How we can print this values? Let's see it. Before printing, what we'll do, we will insert values to 3D array. We will use 3 loops. So you'll ask why we are using 3 loops for 3-dimensional array. The reason for this is, so first for loop we'll use for this one, so 2D array. So internally it contains 2D array. So this block of code, for this we have one for loop, and for number of rows we have separate for loop, and number of columns we have one more loop. So total we are going to use 3 loops. So I start from 0, and I is less than 2. Yeah, here 2, and it will keep on increment. This loop was only for loop 2D array. Yeah. Again we are using one more loop for integer j equal to 0, j is less than, what is the number of rows? 3. So 3 and j plus plus. And this for loop is for number of columns. And now we will go for the third loop. The variable name for this is k equal to 0. K is less than, what is the size of columns? Total number of columns is 4. So we'll write it here 4, and k plus plus. three-dimensional array name is 3D array of in which 2D array we are going to store. So first we will start from 0 in the 0th index, and next is number of rows in which row, so the index is j, and the number of columns, so it will start from 0. So k equal to, so we'll ask the user to insert all the values. Scanner equal to new scanner class of system.in. So we'll ask user please enter all, how many values? So their total 2D arrays, we have number of 2D arrays 2, and number of rows is 3, number of columns is 4. So total elements we want 2 into 3 into 4. So 2 into 3, 6 into 4. So total we want 24 values. Please enter all 24 values for 3D array. And this is scanner class, we can call it here scanner dot next int. So this value will be stored in the 3D array. So first it will come to 0th index with 0 rows and 0 columns. Again 0th index, first this 0th row and first column. Again 0, 0 and second column. So this loop will terminate here, and it will start from 0, 1, 0. Again 1, 0, 0. Then again 1, 1, 1. So we can just run it here, and we will print it here. No need to worry. It's asking for please enter all 24 values for 3D array. So I'm going to write it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and 24. So this loop is getting terminated. So here it's saying process finished. So this loop is getting executed. The thing is, all these values getting saved in that memory location, and the reference for this memory location is 3D array. So if you want to execute all this value, what we can do, we can write the code for this. So what we can do, so the thing is, okay, so this loop is getting close here. So after this we will write the logic to print all values present in 3D if we are storing data, in that case we are using 3 loops. So similarly we need to use 3 for loop. So that variable name already is used, ijk, so we will use the variable name x equal to 0 and x is less than, so how many total 2D arrays there? 2. So we'll let 2 and x plus plus. Then for loop integer y equal to 0, y is less than, so number of rows is 3, so 3 and y plus plus. Now for loop integer, the variable name z equal to 0, z is less than, so how many number of columns is there? 4. Okay, less than 4 and z plus plus. Now what we can do, we can print the values present it in the array. So we'll ask the 3-dimensional array of the x, it will take the array name 2D array, and the index for rows is y, the index for column is z. So here I am writing next line, since this loop is getting executed, so it will give line, so we can just understand it how this flow is. Dot println. So next line we are giving for each and every loop is getting terminated. Yeah. So before printing, so we will just write system.out.println printing values from 3D array. Yeah. So now we can run it. Yeah. Please enter all 24 values for 3D array. So 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, we started from 1 till 24. So what is happening? So we have total 4 column and 3 rows, and the total number of 2D array is 2. See, this is the one array and this is the one array. So the total number of array is represented here. That's what syntax I was talking about. So total number of 2D array. So there are 2 arrays with how many rows? So 1, 2, 3, and columns. One second. Not mistake. So before printing, so what we can do here? So we will give some space so it looks somewhat, yeah. Then we can just run it. Now there is the space, yeah. So we'll start from 1 and goes till 24. So now we will map here, see how it happens. So this array having reference called this in memory location, so that we are not able to see it here, but the thing is values how it flows we can see here. So their total number of 2D array is 2. So this is one 2D array and this one is one 2-dimensional array. So they are 1 and 1, total 2 2D's array with the number of rows 3. So we have 3 rows here, so 1, 2, 3 rows. And how many columns? 4 columns. 1, 2, 3 and 4 columns. So this value is getting stored, and once we are printing, this is the logic for this print, and it's taking values from in 0th 2D array, and it's taking values for 0th index, 0th row and 0th column, like that. 0th rows first column, 0th rows third column. Similarly, like first row 0th column, first row first column, first row second column, and first row third column. This index first array is there. So once this is getting executed, it will go for this one, third row. So second row 0th column, second row first column, second row third column, second row fourth column, third column. So once this is executed, then it will go to for second 2D array. Again similarly it will take 0th row, 0th column, like that it will keep on printing. So this was the code for how we can create a 3-dimensional array, how we can insert values. Oh, one more thing. So the values is getting stored directly. Once, okay, it's better to understand how dynamic we can take values and we can store it. So there is some modification we can do. So what we can do, this syntax, cut it here. before entering these values, so dynamic, if they want like number of rows is 4, number of columns is 5 or 6, if dynamic they want to store, so how we can do? So we'll ask the user system.out.println, please enter three-D arrays total 2D array size. Internally it's going okay, we'll don't ask 2D, it's to ask 3D. So internally it's happening. Yeah. So we can store this total number of 3D array in this variable. Size of 3D ARR equal to scanner dot next int. So once we got total number of 3D array they want to create, and we will ask so how many rows and columns they want to enter. System.out.println please enter total number of rows and that value we can store in rows. Equal to scanner okay dot next int. Once number of rows we got, when we are able to store in this rows reference, again we'll ask so how many columns they want to enter. So dynamic, if they want, our program should be able to handle these things. Please enter total number of columns. And these things we can store in columns equal to scanner dot next int. These things are done. We are able to take this dynamic values and we can accordingly change the code in our so here how many 2D arrays contains the size of the references, the name of this variable is size of 3D array. So we'll call this variable the size of 3D array dynamic, whatever they will pass, it will come here and it will sit here. And the rows, what is the rows they want to enter, so no need to just every time here come and edit. So if dynamic values keep on changing, so our program will handle it. So columns is here, and similarly so here also no need to give this fixed value. If dynamic is changing, directly we can change in our code also. Columns, yeah. Oh, we are printing here. Okay, so here if you want to change this, it will throw runtime exception. Yeah. Okay, so So what we can do here, size of 3D array and total number of rows, so the variable name is rows, and total number of columns, so columns. So now our program will run like this. See, please enter total number of 3D array size. So we want 3 and total number of rows 2 and columns is 2. Oh, this was okay, here I missed it. So we want dynamic values. So okay, we will come here, and what we can do, so we want all the values. So what we can do, we can multiply, so the size of 3D array into number of rows into number of columns. Yeah. So we want 3D arrays and number of rows is 2 and number of columns is also 3. Okay, so it's asking for please enter all 18 values. So here space I have given, next time if you learn it will work, no problem. So 1 2 3, some random values I am giving, 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 and 18. So the thing is, so what was the total number of 3D array? So internally it will be 2D array. So we have given 3. See, we have one array, one 2D array, this one is 2 and 3. We have total 3D array, but internally we have one array 2D and 2D array of 3 2D 2-dimensional array of total 3 array, yeah, 3 2D array with 2 rows and 3 columns. So see, 2 rows, first row, second row, and 1 2 and 3 columns. So similarly we are able to create and store the values, and we are able to print also. Please do like and subscribe if you have liked this video. If there is any improvement, please do comment, and I will try to work on that, and I will keep on uploading the videos on Java related code. So this is all about 3-dimensional arrays. And okay, there is one more point I missed it out. So in multi-dimensional means, okay, 3D arrays, we must need to specify the base size, and the remaining can be ignored. Okay, so this point, okay, I have not covered it. So after, yeah, inside main method, what it means, once you are creating the array, 3-dimensional array, integer, first dimensional, 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional, reference equal to new int of array. It's asking once you are creating this 3-dimensional array, we must need to initialize the base size. Base size means this internally we have 2D arrays, so that size we must need to initialize, and remaining number of rows and columns can be ignored. So here see what we are getting. Compile time error. It's asking array initializer expected where in line number 48. So here the base size means internally 2D arrays size we must need to initialize. Maybe the 1, 2 or 3 or 4 we must need to initialize, and remaining can be ignored. So that was the all about. And the remaining, if you want, you can write it here like 3 the array of and remaining in the next line you can initialize, and you can just go through all this operation. Thank you for watching this videos. Please do subscribe and like the videos. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.